on them or not have is not a member. If you can just come to the front. Do we have any new riders to the bunch today? You can also come to
Edgar and David.
Okay. You just make sure you have a chat with Scott, please. Today's ride, first of all, first point of order, from next week onwards, the briefing will be from the back for obvious reasons. Hope you enjoy the new starting venue. 4 groups as normal Saturday ride. For anyone who hasn't rolled out from here before, we go down the highway and up Telegraph Road. So, if you don't know where you're going, don't be on the front and make sure you communicate. The guys that do know where you're going, it's pretty obvious, but we go down, turn left into Telegraph Road, through to Mona Vale Road, left again, and basically you're back on track as normal. Just a few points I wanted to raise. The first one is when we leave here, we go out group by group. So the A group will roll out first. It's really important that your whole group gets through the traffic light. So make sure everyone's wary when you go up to the traffic lights and you hit the buzzer. Make sure you're ready to go and that you are in one group. There may be a need for someone to act as a marshal as such, in which they'll stand on this side of the road and just make sure that everyone gets across okay. So bear that in mind. Don't be the guys on the front who roll out and only concerned about themselves and just start hitting it and look behind them about a K down the road and realise that they're the only ones there. So that's the first point. It'll take maybe a couple of weeks for people to get used to that, but yeah, as I said, just make sure you communicate and be aware of where everyone else is. Just on communication, as usual with bunch riding, whether it's a hole or a car back, it's up to everyone to actually communicate that through the bunch, whether you're in the back or the front, and anyone in between. Even if you're halfway through a conversation with your mate, just stop momentarily, call the hole, call the slowing, stopping, whatever it may be. Even if you're unsure, it's better to have called it and it be a false alarm than not to have been called. So that's one thing. Also, the guys on the front, I've said this many times, but the guys on the front, you're the eyes of the peloton. You're the only ones who have full vision as to what's coming up ahead, so you need to communicate that. But equally, the guys at the very back are responsible for guiding the peloton from lane to lane, calling out when it's clear, particularly when we're at St. Ives before we go down at the Wildflower Centre, down that short little hill. So make sure that there's a double-pronged point of responsibility. The guys on the front of the bunch, if you're on the front of the bunch, you should never be freewheeling, particularly down a hill. Anyone who has never been on the brakes on a slight downhill on the highway or wherever it may be, it's generally because the guys on the front have stopped pedaling, and it can be quite dangerous because obviously you get a gathering up effect. So if you're on the front and you're talking to your mate, you make sure you're pedaling the whole time. Equally, when you hit a rise, it's not about trying to split the bunch in pieces. There's a time and a place for that. It's called Akuna Bay, up the hill. You can smash yourselves all you like there when we know that there's a regroup point. But when you're riding along as a bunch and you hit a small rise, it's about momentum, keeping everyone smooth together. So don't surge off the front. Make sure you keep a nice smooth pedal stroke. Keep the momentum, but then back it off when you hit the steeper part of the climb so that everyone stays together. Basically, there's a certain point as you pedal into the climb, the point where you start to lose your momentum and you really have to start to put the pressure down. That's where you normally back it off the guys on the front, but keep pedaling, and that way you'll avoid having the elastic band effect of having 30 guys run up the back of you. With that said, Mark's going to take the A group today.